Hello, everybody. This is Brittney Hall with the Revenue Agency Podcast, and Ryan and I are back today for another episode. So, we're excited to focus on business. We love helping businesses grow. We love helping them with their strategies, with their operations. I'm more of a strategist, Ryan's more of an operator. And so, together, we make a pretty powerful team, don't you think, Ryan?
Sure do.
Sure do. Well, welcome you guys. So, like I've said, and I post a lot about this on my social media, but in a business, it's really important to have people with different strengths. Ryan and I are definitely different in our strengths, but it's really fun for us to work together because we've learned a lot about these types of businesses and what we're good at and what we know.
I would say
So,
complementary is what a person should look for. It's
oh, I like that.
complementary skills.
Complementary skills. That's great. So today we're going to be talking about the three biggest mistakes that we see in the coaching businesses. So I like that we just have three things we're going to focus on. So, Rye, you want to add anything before we kick it off?
Let's get it. Let's
Let's
go.
go. Okay, so we're gonna get right to the point here. So the first well, I guess I'm gonna preface it. Okay, I say we're gonna get to it, and then I want to give you a little backstory.
Let's get
So
to it. Hold on a minute.
yeah, just hold on. So, I have actually built my own coaching business. So this is why I guess we can speak to these things is I built my own health coaching business in the health and wellness space, helped a lot of people, built that over 7 years, helped over 3,000 people, which was incredible, but that was a grind. And so I did it firsthand myself. And then I pivoted into the private like personal development business, and Ryan and I, we worked in sales, we worked in operations, where I was really kind of pivoted into more marketing and sales strategies and helping the companies make more money. And Ryan was really about creating operations that gave a really steady foundation. And so we worked in a couple of those businesses, created some really great results. And then we decided, you know what? We want to help more people and we want to work for ourselves. We're big believers in being entrepreneurs. That's why we love working with entrepreneurs. And we opened our own company. And so now we get to help a lot of companies solve these problems. So, Rye, is there anything you'd like to add to kind of a little bit of our backstory?
No, we just really have a well-rounded um, perspective on business because, like Brittany just explained, we've been at the forefront, we've been at the back, we've kind of been like consultants to come in for like a short time. So we really just know how to look at businesses through multiple different ways from experience.
Yeah. And you know what? One thing I would say about that's cool about coming in and consulting is that you have a fresh perspective on a company, on a business, on their team. I'm really big on like what's the energy of the company and not like a woo-woo way, but like where's all the energy going? Like where is there like sticking points? And then how do we alleviate that and make everything run a lot smoother? And so I would say if you're somebody, it doesn't matter if you have a coaching business, a regular business, but if you're like, I just feel like something's off, I would definitely encourage you to just have somebody come put a set of eyes on it, somebody that you trust, somebody who knows what they're doing, that can give you really good feedback. I think that is huge. So, throughout our experience, I love these three kind of biggest issues that we've come up with today. And the first one, I'm going to kind of lead this section, but it's really building a business without a clear offer or ideal client. And so they don't know who they're serving, they don't know what problem they're solving, they don't know what their offer is. And that's really one of like the biggest problems. And the reason why I believe this happens is because coaches are tip or people who have a personal brand, they're typically creative and they think, well, I really like this. They lead with what they love, which there's a piece of that should be there. But if you don't know who you're helping or what problem you're solving for them, you're going to be running in a lot of circles. And I think too, people do not have consistency in one direction. They think if something's not working right away, they need to switch. They need to switch. They need to switch. So maybe they're solving lots of different problems and they're helping lots of different people. And what happens when you do that is it becomes very confusing for the customer. And so, like, if you don't have a clear offer, people not know what they do. They don't know how you help them. And so they're not going to spend any money with you. So, like, it's just not going to happen. And so then you have even more legwork because now you had to kind of almost go win back their attention. Right. Would you say that that's pretty accurate?
I think so. I imagine I like analogies, and I imagine like four people rowing in a boat and everybody's going in different directions.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, we're getting nowhere. We're not getting
Yeah.
any traction. We're not moving the boat forward towards what we really want to. So it's kind of when everybody's in alignment, when your idea is in alignment with exactly what you want to do, it's like that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, and I would say so say if somebody who they don't have a team, there's not 4 people in the boat. Maybe they're rowing in one direction and then they're kinda going in another, and then they're going in another, and the next thing they know, they're right back where they started, and they've really gone nowhere.
Mm.
So, this it's really important to get clarity, and once again, I would say if you don't have clarity, book a call with me. Like, let's get clear on what you're doing. And then what happens is once you get that clarity, then you can create the strategy to move forward. But I would also highlight one thing here is that I think it's a common concept that people get scared to niche into one thing because they think that when they do that, they're going to put all these people on the outside. But the thing is if you don't speak to one person and one problem, it's too broad and then it's for no one. But the thing is if you have one clear message and one clear thing that you're doing, then you will catch people on the fringe. So like because there will be people that you're like, huh, that's not really my ideal client, but like I really like what they're doing. Like I wanna get in there. I know that I have for sure been attracted to certain coaching that's probably more geared towards men, but I'm a pretty direct female. And so that messaging really resonates with me. But if somebody was like, I want to create a marketing strategy that goes after a 38-year-old female that has 2 kids, it's a businesswoman, the messaging might be different and might not hit me the same. So you're always going to catch those people on the fringe. So really, I would just say without clarity, your message is vague. Your content won't convert. You attract the wrong people. You attract no one at all. It leads to inconsistent income. It leads to burnout and you're trying to do everything for everyone. So what happens is you're just spinning your wheels and you're really getting nowhere. So my advice would be the action step would be to get very clear on who you're serving, who's the person, what problems do they have that you are solving, and then what is something that you can offer them that's either free or something that they can purchase. So, and there's a whole strategy behind that as well. You think we hit that good, Rye?
Yeah, I think that's good. Clarity is key. It really is. I mean, imagine if you're driving somewhere but you don't know exactly where you're going, like at your end destination, like if you don't know where that is, you're not going to get there the best way. You know, you're
Yeah.
going to be all over the place. You might go to Maine before you get to California and you're trying to get to Washington.
Your analogies are getting a little out there for me
Okay.
personally. Okay, so let's talk about problem number 2. This is going to probably fall a little bit more into Ryan's territory. So it's scaling too soon without systems. Now we've seen this a lot, right? Like, so Ryan, I'll just give you the floor. You go ahead.
Well, we had a good friend of ours tell us one time the way you start a business is to get somebody to pay you $10,000. And there really is something to that, right? Sales is a humongous part of it. You have to have something that somebody wants from you, like that transaction. But if you don't have anything on the back end to help you deliver what that person just paid for, your reputation is shot. Everybody looks at you like you don't know what you're doing. So then sales are going to be really challenging unless you get a whole new group of people. You see where I'm going with that? So it's like there's kind of a balance between having your systems completely set up, but then you don't have any work, like any focus on sales or how you're going to get a customer. And that's not good. Or you have all sales and you're like, I don't know what we just sold, but we sold it and we got their money. So
Yeah, you have
that's
no
obviously a
fulfillment.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, then there's no fulfillment. So there really is a balance between getting your system set up and sales. And so when you're first starting out, you really don't need a ton of systems, but you need a CRM, right? You need a place to have people's data so you can communicate with people, keep notes in the system. You need to be able to way to take payments, right? So if it's Stripe, it's Square, it's whatever it is. There's like a few things you need. Social media is simple. All of us are on it. Everybody needs that, and that's a great way to generate leads. So just having a few of these in place, and then making sure to not overdo it. Oh, I need to get the subscription for this. I need to get the subscription for that. We're going to do the team package for this. It's like, well, hold on. You're
Yeah.
just spinning your wheels, spending all this money and having all these subscriptions because we've also come into these big businesses and seen their back end and they're like, oh my goodness, you have $1,500 in subscriptions. you didn't even know.
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
just, this person comes in and they sign up for something, and then this person comes in and signs up for something, or you can even do it as a single operator. Well, I have Calendly and I have Google and I have this. It's like, hold on, let's figure out what you can get the most bang for your buck on.
Yeah, wouldn't you say that we've found that some people think that it takes way more than it really does to start and get a business up and going, especially in the coaching space?
It really doesn't take that much. You could
No.
probably do it with your phone. Like,
Yeah,
it
like
really
Google
doesn't take that
Calendar.
much.
Get your
Google
Google Calendar figured out.
Google
I
Calendar, have a business email, right? You can set up your how you're going to take payment. That's simple. A very simple CRM that doesn't cost you hardly anything at all, where it's just a centralized place to have
Yep.
all your contacts and information. And it's a simple way as you grow to be able to communicate with mass amounts of people and get your
Yeah.
information out.
Yeah. And I think too, I would say some people, I think it's a great investment down the road, but some people are like, oh, I need a media team and I need a content person. I need a this. You know what? In the beginning, you're everything. Like you are your content team. You are that until you're making enough money every single month consistently for to be able to pay for these things. Cause I can definitely be one too, where I want to put the cart before the horse because I have the vision and I'm like, I want all these things. And Ryan's like, whoa, 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 whoa. And Ryan's had to tell me a few times, you don't have the luxury yet of offloading that to somebody. Right now, it's you with a long term vision that you are going to delegate that as soon as possible. But sometimes in the beginning, you don't have the cash. Like you're just
Mhm.
because a lot of people start coaching businesses out of like a side hustle of something to like maybe work them out of their job or a passion project. So a lot of times in the beginning, they don't have a lot of money to invest in these things. So I mean, could you go faster if you did have a lot of money to invest? Yeah, you sure could if it was with the right people. But in the beginning, keep it simple.
I'm glad that you said the right people though, because there's a lot of people out there that are just like, "Oh, I can for sure help you," and then their hands out, and then you pay them, and you're like, "Where? Now I can't get a hold of them."
Yeah.
Or, well, they said they were going to do this, but they really not. The service isn't what they said. So there's a lot of people out there in this industry that will gladly take your money and say they can help you, but then they don't show any results.
Yeah.
So, like social media, for example, a lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm a social media expert." Well, what does that mean?
Yeah, what the hell does that even mean? And here's the thing too, you guys, this is a little side story. I don't even know if I told you about this, Ryan. I'm in some female networking group. I'm in a bunch of them. And it was one that was more for like a local, like DFW area. And this gal was like saying, hey, I want somebody to help me with my social media. And people are like, I can help, I can help, I can help. And I was like, hey, listen, the first thing I would do if I were you is everybody that says that they can help you, go look at their social media and see what they're doing. How many followers do they have? What's their content? What's their writing style? What's their freaking profile picture? Because if somebody tells me they're a social media expert and then their profile picture is like a weird gremlin or their cat, no, like
No,
I'm out.
no.
And so also, like, people, come on. If that's really what you do for a living, make sure that your freaking front door, like of your social media, is fixed up. Like, get your shit together. That's just like one of my biggest pet peeves when people say, I can do that. And it's like, doesn't look like you can. And now people are
Mhm.
going to pay you because they don't have the knowledge and you're not going to deliver because you're not even doing it for yourself.
Well, and here's the thing, like, I love young people. I was a very driven young person one time, and I got a lot of what should I say, like criticism from older people, right? And I was better than them. I know that now, and I probably knew it then, but I just kept to myself. And you have to let your actions prove your worth, right? And so it isn't that, like Brittney was saying, you have to look at their social media. If you are an experienced person and your social media is on point, obviously you're going to get business. If you're not and you're a young person, you're just starting out, you might have to do some stuff for free, right?
Yeah.
Brittney's had to do that. Like, you might have to offer your services for free to help people to prove your ability to perform, right? Because you don't have the track record or the resume to show that you can do it. Now, you might be able to. You might be the best thing that we haven't seen yet. But you might have to, still work your job while you're doing this on the side to build your resume. Like, hey, now I can show you that I've helped this person grow 100,000. I've helped this person, get this many more impressions.
Yeah.
So there's that too, because I don't want to get to where, like, we're talking negative about young people, because
Yep.
old people are, I'm not sold on them either.
Yeah.
Like, just
Yeah.
because you've been doing something a long time doesn't mean you're good at it and doesn't mean you can help me.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity. All right. Let's move on to the next thing. So the third and final problem that we see is relying on hustle instead of strategy. And so I think that this would actually kind of bleed into the first two. Like Ryan kind of alluded to, when you're just all sales heavy and you don't have like a great system, what we have seen people do is they spin their wheels a lot. And maybe they're making a lot of money, but there's really not a bigger vision for the work and what you're working towards and what you're, trying to do. So there's not like a real marketing plan. There's not an intentional sales process. Like there's definitely companies who just are very sales heavy, that they're like, just get the money, sell it for whatever, just get the money. And so there's no intention behind it. If you don't, this kind of ties into your CRM and the people that you're delegating to, but if you don't have like automations in place, so everything's being done manually, that's a huge energy drain. I think I've heard Ryan say it, and it's probably a quote you've heard from somebody else, but if you have to do it more than once, automate it. Right. And so I don't know how to do those things, but I have people who know how to do those things. So that falls into the delegation as well. And then if you're not getting like tracking your data, or there's no like feedback that's guiding your decisions. I remember we worked with a company, and there was always these new programs being created, and I was like, well, how does this feed into like the bigger vision or the things that we have coming up later in the year? So like I was like, what's the strategy behind these topics or these concepts? And it's really important to have somebody working with you that can say, okay, this leads to this, which leads to this. I think in the coaching business, you want things to have a building block over, 3 to 6 months or even the year. And looking, the thing with coaching too is it can be a very emotionally driven business. So you want to be thinking about what times of year, what are people's schedules, like your ideal client, who are they? And now what's the strategy that fits them, to market to them, to sell to them, to deliver for them. But a lot of people they just hustle and they think, oh, I just got to work harder. And that's how I'm going to make more money. But they don't take time to sit back and create the intention for the business. So that's what I would say. Right? You want to add on to that at all?
No, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah. So that what happens with that is you get stuck on the content hamster wheel. You're wondering why things aren't growing, when in reality you haven't built a sustainable strategy to support the business long term. So what I would say with this, the common little pitfalls that I would say, these are examples of this, is when you get into a one-to-one coaching model, which is great. A lot of people start there because you can get paid, you're working with somebody, you're getting experience. But what happens is your time isn't scalable. So if you get stuck in that rut and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm stuck in these one-to-ones and I can't get out of it. So then you can explore like a one-to-many model, which is more of a group coaching model, but those take time to build. So your group might be small in the beginning and then it might grow. Or people who are just speakers, they don't have a way to monetize the speaking. So that is definitely a hamster wheel, because you're just getting paid maybe big hits of revenue, but it's still time for money. There's nothing scalable there. You can't scale that business. So I would find ways to monetize on the back end of speaking. So whether it's, a course or something that you could sell them on the back end that you don't have to deliver, or something that you do deliver live, would be cool. Those are things to think about. Um, but yeah, so those are just like a few things, is how people structure their coaching businesses can become like golden handcuffs, that you're just spinning your wheels and there's not anywhere to go with the business. Okay.
This is fun. I like I like helping people like figure out how to make it easier, simpler, better, make it better for their life. Because how frustrating is it when you're like, gosh darn it, I want to do this so bad, but just so hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And typically I'm the one who like talks to our clients in the coaching calls. But Rye, it's amazing how many people I hear that are like, "Oh my god, you get it." And it's like, "Yeah, because everybody has the same problems." Because guess who our target client is? Coaches. What problem are we solving? Growth strategies, lead generation, scale of business. So we know exactly what problems you have, and we know exactly how to solve them. So I guess I would say, if this is you, if you have a personal brand, if you're an influencer, if you're a coach, heck, if you're a brick and mortar business owner and you're like you're one of our fringe people on the fringe listening, and you're like, damn, I'm having trouble with these. There's really not that many differences between the businesses. And so we would love to have a conversation with you. So I would say definitely go to our website, therevenueagency.com, and just click apply now, fill out a form, and we'll reach out to you. That's a great way to get a hold of us. You could also email info@therevenueagency.com, book a free strategy call. And, Ryan and I have been business owners and operators for a long time. And so I would say that our heart is really to help people get unstuck and get those strategies in place because we have such a passion for helping people love their businesses again. Because it's so fun when you can work for yourself and things are working and you're making money, and you have a couple team members and you're able to pay them well. Like, that is a really, really cool thing. So, Rye, you want to add anything to that as we kind of wrap
No,
everything?
that's fun. It's fun when I mean, it can be challenging when you have to rely on yourself, but it's very fulfilling when you go, you know what? I did it, and it's because of me and now my team, and I can help them have a great life, and I have a great life, because that's really what it all is, you know? At
Yeah.
least in our opinion, is like we want you to love your life. And
Yeah.
I think the best way to do it is entrepreneurship.
Yeah. I love that. All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks for joining us today. We'll catch you next time.